Hello my friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm Sheree and my channel is Turquoise Dreaming, and I am working this week on this new glue book made out of a vintage, very vintage science book cover. I believe this used to be a book that was used in schools. I picked it up at a thrift store. I used all the pages so I don't have the copyright anymore, but it was called The Singer Science Discoveries. So I've already taken the, the book apart and the cover and made a new spine. So let me just show you the colors here on the front in the pictures. I think it's a really neat looking old science book. Kind of gives me a mid-century modern vibe. And here is the new spine. And here is the back. I thought the back was really neat too with all of these illustrations here. I cleaned up the cover, made the new spine, and the fabric goes on the inside too. So today I want to work on I want to put some paper here, and then I want to work on the covers for the 3 signatures that I'm going to do. And when our Tuesday mornings, we had 2 of them here, not too far from me, and I could shop at, but they have, well, I think one's still open, but I think one has closed and one is about to close. So anyway, before the scrapbook paper was gone, I went and found some scrapbook paper, and I'm trying to think, did I get this? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Back up. Back the truck up. Let me think now. Okay, yes. I did get some scrapbook paper before they ran out at Tuesday morning, but I got this. I'm remembering now. I got this scrapbook paper it was on sale. There was kind of a buy one get one for half price or something like that with a gift card that I had from Michael's for my birthday. That's where I got this. And so I got this one and I got this little one here because I knew I was going to make this scrapbook or this journal / glue book, and I thought this would be really neat because I didn't really have anything space related or science related. So I thought this would be neat to make this science book because it gave me that kind of vibe. It has like a satellite here on the cover, and then the things it has on the back here just remind you. I think that's another satellite right there. So it just gave me a space vibe. So I thought I'd go with this, not really space theme, but a few spacey things. So yeah, I got this, and I think either I showed this to you or it's in an upcoming. I have one Thrifty Thursday video that is coming up, so I don't know if it's in that one or I've already showed it to you. But it has some really neat papers in here, 3 of each. So I really like that one I just passed. And I've already pulled out some, but I could change my mind. But here it is real quick again, in case I haven't shown it to you yet. Really, I just totally space related here. So really neat papers. So what I pulled out, the little one is like this. Not necessarily space related, but it's called Twilight. And it's a 6x6, and it just has some, well, there's one. Looks like moon phases right here. And then this one has stars. And you can see what I mean. That's just a black, it looks like. Here's a similar paper to what I saw in here, so it would coordinate very well. Same kind of colors and things. So I got that at the same time. I got this. So let me show you the papers I pulled out for. First I want to do this inside here, on the inside of the cover. And I usually do that before I put the fabric in, but I went ahead and put the fabric in this time. And I left it open on the end so I could tuck the paper underneath the edges of the fabric, and then I'll finish gluing down the fabric. But let's see, I thought I would do, I think it was this one on the inside of the front and back, because this fabric has blue, and this is kind of almost a glittery or shimmery gold on here. Really pretty. And I of course was matching with the blues on here, but this guy right here, he's kind of orangey, but also kind of matches the gold, and he's on the back too. So it's funny what we pick out, right, to match. sometimes, but I think it turned out really well as far as the fabric, you know, and kind of going with the whole look of the book and the colors. So let me cut this branding strip off of here. And so I'm thinking I'm going to, let's see which way I want to do this here. You can probably do this any which way, you know, I wanted to, but I want to maximize this gold. So, like I said, this is 12 inches wide, so I'm going to basically cut it in half. I just want to see which way. So if I do this, I put this here, you'll see the gold out here. And if I do it like this, let me see, the 6 inches would be about like that. You know, I think I like it this way better. Okay, so this way is like this. It's going up. Let me turn it this way. This way it would be going, the gold would be going down. I don't have a preference whether it goes up or down. So I could cut like the bottom, from the bottom up, say, to the top of the book, up to about here. So I think that would be maximizing the gold that way, and I would have this kind of river of gold. And, or if I, yeah, I think I like it going down actually. If I did it this way, it would be flowing this way. Either way looks good, really, doesn't it? Let me have it going up because it looks like it's going up into space this way. I think I like it going up, like it's floating up into space. Okay, we've decided, okay, so I'm going to measure, like I always say, in case you're new to my channel, I always say I like to match the paper that's on here and have a little rim, just like the books, you know, pretty much every book you see is going to have a little rim around the paper. So I like to keep that little rim. I like that little bit of color around my paper. I don't like to run my paper all the way out to the edge here. I just think it looks so pretty, like it was a real book, and it makes it look like it was always there if you leave that little ridge or rim just like the book had originally. Okay, so we're going to cut it here from the bottom and then measure at the top. So I'm going to put it here so I can just see that little bit right there and make a little, let me see if I can find my pencil. I've got my pen here, but I don't see my pencil. In case it leaves, in case I need to erase it, I'd rather use a pencil than a pen. So let me get my pencil. And I'm putting it right down there where that little bit of blue is. And here on the edge, this side edge. So I'm going to put the paper right up to that side edge, but right up to the color, you know, over the white part that was there. So I have my rim. I have my rim down here, okay. And now I'm going to push it over a little bit. Push it over a little bit so I can see the rim on the top, okay. So that is about right there. About right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut straight across right there. My paper cutter over here to the side. I don't know, can you see the whole thing? You may not be able to see the whole thing, but it's right here. You can see part of it. I'm just cutting paper. You don't really need to see that. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But let's see. So let's cut this. All right, we did it. We cut the top off. And so I've got a nice piece there to use for something. And then let's see how we did. It's perfect. I love it. Okay, I'm going to tuck it right underneath this fabric. So let me bring it down and see. Well, actually, I'm going to just go ahead and cut it in half, like I said. So when I cut a piece of paper like this, I don't want to fold the whole thing right now. I just kind of make a little pinch right here at the top. Make sure it's, you know, even over here. But I just make a little pinch right here, and that's where I cut, right on that little pinch. Okay, so let's do that. Get a nice straight cut here, line everything up with my paper cutter. You know, the little stops and the little lines and things that you cut on. Okay, there we go. Now I've got my 2 pieces of paper. Let's see if it will fit under this fabric or not. Do I need to cut off some more? Because I was gluing it down. I just left a little bit here or I tried to be able to fit this under, but I don't know if it's going to be quite, if it'll go under there enough for me not to have to cut off anymore. Okay, let's see. It's going under all the way down, except for not down here. So let me see if I can pull this up a little bit. Yeah, I did this before work this morning, and I kind of wanted to do it on video, but I had people sleeping nearby at the time in the next room, and I was afraid that I would, even if I talked quiet, I didn't want to have to talk too quiet on the video where y'all couldn't hear me, and then I didn't want to wake them up, so it was a little bit of a dilemma. So, okay, I see I need to cut some off. It will fit all the way under there, but it's too wide. Okay, so I'm going to cut off this side. So let me see how much I need to cut off. I don't want to cut off too much, so I'm going to do a little bit of, all right, let's see. So I can see the edge of my fabric right there. So I'm going to cut off. I don't want to cut off too much, like I said. I'm going to cut off about right there. I made a little mark with my pencil right there, and I'm going to see how that goes. Now there's 3, if I did make some kind of a terrible mistake here, like where it was unusable as far as my intended purpose here, this paper pad has 3 of each sheet in it, so I could use another one and then use this one for whatever, something else, but I think I'm cutting in the right place. Okay, I've got a little strip here, I'll save that. And then this should be the right size, hopefully. Yes, that is perfect. Very beautiful. See, I wanted something with gold on it to go with the gold here. So I think that's pretty. It looks like this paper should have been here in the beginning, right? It would have been such a prettier book. So let's go ahead and cut this side, and then we'll glue both of these down. And so it'll be about the same. We already have the size on these, these 3 sides. So let's get let's see how far it goes under here. It goes under even less on this side, I see. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I was trying not to glue down the whole fabric, but it was a little hard because I wanted enough on there to get it down, but and then you know how glue spreads out, so it was hard not to get the whole edge glued down here. And I like it going under. I think it gives a finished look when you tuck your paper under there a little bit. So yeah, I need to cut off quite a bit here. Let me get my pencil again. And we'll go right about up to, let's see, about right up to there. Make a good mark because I'm writing on the gold and I don't know if I can see it. Oh yeah, I can see it. Okay, good. We're good to go. So I hope everyone had a good day. I had a very good day at work. Got all my work done. No issues. Then on my lunch break, just 1 second. Okay, so I had to use a tissue there. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I had to take care of my nose. So anyway, on my lunch break, okay, let's get these glued down. On my lunch break, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this is cardstock. I want it to be nice and sturdily glued down, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. But art glitter glue would probably be fine too, but I just really want to just not have any doubt as to any kind of glue issue, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. But yeah, I went to Lowe's Home Improvement on my lunch break, and like the previous, really for a long time, I've been having every year a vegetable garden, but the last 2 years my vegetables did not grow very well. And I even got new garden soil, made sure I had sun, just fertilizer, whatever, I mean, I've had many successful vegetable gardens, but the last couple of years, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what it is, but just not very successful. I mean, I had a few things, but not as much as I should have. So this year I was like, I'm just going to grow flowers. I love flowers. I just want some flowers. So So that's what I'm doing. We moved part of my garden where my vegetables used to be, and so I have got a new spot. I put a bunch of planters and pots or whatever like that on my deck, and it's up. There's a part of my deck that is out in the sun, and part of my deck is covered. So the one that's out in the sun, so my plants and pots and things can get water and sun, and there's a hose right there, so I can grab the hose and water my plants that are on that part of the deck. There we go. See how that's tucked under here? We'll glue this down in a second, but that looks beautiful. I love it. Okay, so let me rub this all down. I like to use my fingers or my hand lately so that I don't damage my paper in any way. Scratch it, tear it, whatever. My fingers are smooth, so it's a smooth item. You can use a brayer, whatever you want. You know, a roller or something. That would work too if you don't want to use your hand. But that looks beautiful. Okay, let's get this side down. So I just want to make sure that's going to tuck under there. I think I already did that, but or maybe I didn't. Or maybe I just cut it and didn't check it again. So, yeah, I've been going to Lowe's Home Improvement a few times on my lunch break the last few weeks to get flowers. And gosh, do they have a lot of flowers this year. In the last couple of years, I used to be able to get really nice, like the fingerling kind of little, 8 plants to a little container. I used to be able to get those at Walmart, but the last couple of years, Walmart has not had them. I don't know what's going on there. They only have the bigger pots that are like $4 or $5 or $6 for one plant. I was like, that's no good. I want my 8 plants. You know what I mean? So Lowe's Home Improvement has some good prices on them. Like the ones I've been picking out are like $3.98 for 8 little plants. I mean, you can't beat that, right? So, and I don't, need anything fancy. In fact, my favorite flowers that I like to plant in my yard for spring and summer, kind of like you gotta wait till it's the warm part of spring. But I just love marigolds and geraniums. And I got some impatiens. And I got another plant that I can't think of the name of right now, but it's the little leafy plants that have the different colors. That here in North Carolina, they're considered annuals. All the plants I got are considered annuals in North Carolina. When I lived in Florida, they were not considered annuals, but geraniums and marigolds and things like that would grow year round. Oh, I got some vinca today too, and those were plentiful and grew like weeds in South Florida. And they would just grow huge, and they would, am I doing this right? Yeah, this is the side I cut. I just need to get it under there so that I can line it up here. But yeah, they grew huge and never went away, when it got, because it didn't get cold. When it got a little cold, they didn't go away. So, anyway, I was able to get the plants I want okay, this is not going in here. Hold on, let me stop talking for a second and concentrate on this, getting this under here. It just went under right when we were experimenting. There it goes. Okay, hold on. Let me concentrate here for a second because I want this to be right. Okay, gotta get this under here. This corner right here is glued down a little bit too much. There we go. Okay, it just came loose. Okay, perfect. Right under there. Okay, we'll glue that back down. All right, good. Okay, sorry. Back to my flowers. So yeah, I planted those flowers I mentioned, and I just have the little leafy. I have to look up the name of that for you because it's plentiful in South Florida. I used to grow this year-round, big, beautiful, fluffy plants. And I think I never grew impatiens in Florida. I don't think, did I? Yeah, I think I actually did. I just had to make sure I kept them in the shade. And so, okay, I think this looks good. Let's glue down. Oh gosh, my glue is oozing. Hold on, let me get a piece of paper here to clean up my glue, and then I can glue some this fabric down because that'll just be a mess. Glue everywhere if I don't clean that up. A little bit of a volcano there. But yeah, so I'm watering my plants, my flowers, and so then that's the deck part. And then I used to have the vegetable garden out beside our house, but that was three. I had 4 beds, like raised beds over there. We took 3 out because we're redoing that area, and I have 1 left over there. So I put some impatiens over there because that one bed that's left is in a shady spot. And then I have a couple of planters over there. So yeah, I put impatiens over there, and I think I put, what else did I put over there? I think I put some marigolds over there. But this permanent raised bed is where the impatiens are, and then the other movable things are, there's some impatiens in there, and there's some, let's glue this down first. Let me get this over here, make sure you can see. This is the piece of fabric wrapped up from the outside, from the front. I wrapped this one up first. Let's get that glued down first. And then this is folded down over that. There's a little string here. Let me get that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully some beautiful mounds of big mounds of impatiens growing, and the marigolds can get pretty big, and big plants and produce lots of flowers, and the butterflies. I've seen grown marigolds before, and then lots of butterflies like to land on those, so they're kind of like a butterfly plant. And then the other plants, the little leafy things, which I can't think of what they are. Are they caladiums? Caladiums, maybe? Anyway, yeah, those are going to go be, put throughout any kind of empty spots. Like in my one pot, I have like 2 impatiens, which they should get up and mound pretty far. But I want to put a few of those loose leafy caladiums in the side so they can kind of grow out over the side. So it should be pretty. Maybe I can even post some pictures. And they're nothing fancy or anything. There's just flowers that I like and I've always grown. And I haven't been able to get too many geraniums in the last few years because that's one of the plants I love. I've always loved in Florida. Even at my very first house when I got married, I planted lots of geraniums, but they've gotten for some reason expensive over the years. Little simple geraniums. But I was able to find a pot, good sized pot with one pretty beautiful plant in it for like, I'm trying to think if it was $4 or $5. I felt like it was a good deal. It was probably $4, or like $4.98 or something like that, or around $4. So I did break down and buy a geranium, even though I thought it was, they've been expensive lately. I thought it was a good sized plant and had lots of beautiful flowers on it. And so yeah, I got myself a geranium, and so we'll see how that does. It's looking beautiful though. And everything's out in the sun. We're going to get plenty of sun, and if it rains, they'll get watered for me. And if it doesn't, I have the hose right there. So let me know what kind of garden you plant, if you plant a garden, flowers and vegetables, or all vegetables, or whatever. I like hearing about everyone's gardens and, garden tips and things like that. So lots of fun. All right. And just, we're running out of time here, so that is gorgeous. So here's the, front, and here it is upright. So you open it up, and you see all that beautiful spatial, sciencey looking inside covers. Wow, that really is pretty, isn't it? I love it. Okay, so let's see if we can do a couple of our signature covers. So I like to make a signature cover out of cardstock or scrapbook paper, depending on what I have and the colors that I find in my stash here. And so since I have this new paper pad, of course, I have all cardstock available here. It is one-sided, but I was thinking about, like on this one-sided paper, on the first signature, I do like to make pockets, but even if I didn't make a pocket and left it all white, this is a glue book, so like you can see how this would be a great background for gluing whatever, and then you turn over and say you have a white page. That's just like, you know, the perfect gluing spot, right? If you actually want to use it for gluing or anything. You know, it's cardstock, so you could draw or paint or whatever on there, mixed media, anything, right? So I think, you know, one-sided, two-sided, I don't think it matters. You just have lots of options, even with a white blank piece of paper. So I'm trying to see if I got all the branding strips off of here. Okay, so this can be folded either way. I think I'll put it this way, like, so this will be a foundation with the darker part. So it would be like this, and they'll all be about the same here. So, and this is how I did the last two glue books too. I do have a glue book in my shop right now. If you want one, it's all ready to go with a great goodie pack and great pages. So I already did a flip through of that one. If you want to look back on my channel a few weeks ago, whatever it was, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did the flip through on not the bird one. That one's sold, but the one before that. And then I have listed it in my shop, which you can see pictures there too. So, and it has a tassel too, so it's awesome. So that one's available. And then I have the strawberry traveler's notebook size strawberry journal available. So I've got 2 journals in my shop right now available. And then I have some Ideals magazines and other goodies. Just take a peek. I think I have some fabric tags in there and some trims and things. So lots of junk journal goodies if you're new to my channel. And I'll be listing some more things. And I'm on eBay. And if you have bought things from me before on Etsy, I did have an Etsy shop, but I've changed to eBay. And I'm enjoying the eBay experience. So yeah, just pop over. The link will be below. And this has stopped flowing now, but I want to get done real quick here. Let me see. I may have to pause for a second. Here it comes. Okay, yeah, it was volcanoing, and now it doesn't want to come out. And there's plenty in here, so giving me a hard time tonight, one way or the other. Too much or too little. But on the cardstock, I do like to use, especially on the pockets like this, I definitely like to use some Fabri-Tac because I feel like it's going to hold better, even better than see how that just came up like that. It's going to hold. It's going to hold when it starts drying, but that's what it would be even worse than that if I tried to use art glitter glue, because it's just a thinner, even though it's a strong glue and it's a permanent glue. It's not, I don't know, it's just not as, it's a thinner glue, so it wouldn't, I feel like I think it would hold, but you could probably separate it easier. You know, if you pulled on it too much or a little bit, it may separate easier, whereas this Fabri-Tac is going to hold a lot better in this kind of cardstock situation here. So, all right, there's one. I am kind of getting my folds all creased there, and I always make that little triangle as you saw. So there's one. I may have to trim this a little bit, but right now it fits perfectly. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then we'll just see if we can do one more here. And this is the other one. I chose this one for signature cover, and this one. I was going to put this in on the back of the covers, but I thought I kind of figured out where it would land, and it wouldn't make the most out of this pretty kind of solar and sun looking picture here. So anyway, my time's actually up, so I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll come back and share with you another video on the process. So hope you enjoyed. the science glue book so far, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day and happy crafting.